Okay, so I was telling you about what they did to my aunt, right? So they like had her going through shock therapy. They had her feeling like she was crazy, and then somebody called child services on her, which I'm pretty sure was probably one of her own family members. They called child services on her to like they just did the most. They were gang stalking her. They gang stalked her. And then from what I understand, my grandma was in the hospital when she did it. For what, I don't know, but they thought my grandmother was going to pass. And my aunt and my dad apparently went in on her. Like, went in on her to the point of then I got the call. I don't know. My cousin said that they were doing shock therapy, which I didn't even know that they still did shock therapy for people. I don't understand why that's still a thing. I don't know. But yeah, she was going there. She was getting all her meds changed. Like everything in combination was a potent cocktail for basically her to off herself. Like basically. They pushed her to it. They pushed her to the edge and she went over. And then the thing is, like I said, I have a good memory. So now I've asked all this stuff. So now I remember what most people don't. Most people don't remember what they did yesterday or the day before. So it's in my vault. It's there. So it's going to come back when I need it. And it did. Because my grandmother, after my grandfather passed, I was working through my grief. Like I said, my aunt came up to visit me. She's like, I want to reconnect. I'm so sorry for everything. And I hope you watch this. I hope you watch this, you bitch. I'm so sorry for everything that we didn't have a relationship. My grandmother said the same shit. Let's reconnect now. I'm so sorry. So she came up and she was like, you should she gave me an option of reaching out to my dad and going out here in Vegas. Reaching out to my grandma, going to Florida, or coming there with her. And then my cousin, something was off, like about everything, like to where my guides told me no. Like I was set to go move with my grandma, and my guides basically told me no. There was one criteria that basically was what I used to tell me if something was off, no matter what front was being presented. And I used that. So I ended up not going because my cousin, I ended up crippled at the hospital 2 times, right? To where I couldn't work. I lived off savings for about a month, and I wasn't there long enough to get all, FMLA and like everything. And on top of it, they pushed me to come back before I was ready. I had to jump through hoops to come back, and they pushed me to come back. So it was, like I said, it was just like Lemony Snicket's just a course of bad events. So I was crippled at the time. That's when the rheumatoid arthritis was like, I was really going through it. I couldn't walk. I had to live off savings, and then I had to go back to the hospital again, and they pushed me to come back. And I was like, all right, I need to make money. So I did. I went back to the hospital again and ended up worse than I was before. They put me on gabapentin. That's when I would tell you I was like reeling in pain, and I've never been right since. So I was crippled. I couldn't walk. So the second time I had to like sit there. Like it wasn't like I could do anything. They told me not to go back, and that was my stubbornness. I didn't listen, and I went back anyway. So I kind of had to sit for a minute and like take my time and go back, and I could go back to work like sparingly. And the thing with the SSI is it's rigged. It's so set up. It's so set up for failure. Our system, it is. It's so set up not to help the people that need it, because basically you apply and it takes about 4 months. What am I going to do in 4 months' time? What am I going to do? How am I going to live? Okay, so now I'm going to have to go to work. Okay, I go to work. I end up worse than I was, hospitalized, and they said that I left work that I could have done. I beg to differ. I ended up crippled again and in more pain than I ever was. That's now chronic. But yes, I left the job that I could have did. And then you start working because it's a catch-22. You start working because you need to make money. You need to live. You need to survive, right? And I started working. And second attempt gets denied because I'm working. Go figure. Like I said, it was just one thing after the other. So now I have to get out of the house where I'm at because the house was going into foreclosure where I was because, like I said, cancer is very expensive. And I knew that my grandfather was in like 400 grand worth of debt. Okay, so whatever bond that my family found of 90 grand. Oh, by the way, if you guys didn't know, before I left, I received paperwork that you guys are all being sued. Because Mr. Executor, did you not know that you're supposed to pay debtors first? What an idiot. What a freaking moron. I don't understand how you could be as smart as you freaking are and do the stupid shit that you do. But anyway, I digress. You're old enough to know better, but whatever. So anyway, yeah, by the way, you guys will probably be getting served soon enough. But anyhow, I digress. But yeah, so she came in and she was telling me that I should go like with them. And then on top of it was grooming me. Like that I needed to go see a therapist. Thank God that I didn't. And I started meditating. Not knocking therapy or anything like that. But if I would have went to therapy, it would have been documented. And they would have been able to take over whatever it is they wanted to take over. So basically my grandmother asked me for my social security. Now, I've never made a will before. I've never, you know what I mean? So I don't know if you need my social security. And at that time I trusted her. So I gave it to her. Now, what really got me, my cousin presented this place, right? In Rhode Island. They had a place that she lives in Orlando. In Rhode Island, she had an apartment. She's like, oh, you could sublet it, you know? She was like, being that you're struggling and you're having a rough time, you could get back on your feet, you can heal, and you only have to pay a third of the rent. It was basically like the bait and switch. Like, basically, she presented this. It was lovely. It was good on paper. And at first I declined until I was pushed and I got like noticed that the house was going and I had just wanted to leave at that point. I was having issues with my mom, my sister and stuff coming to the house. Even when I asked them not to, I said, can you come on this, you know what I mean? It was a little ridiculous, but anyway, I had just wanted to leave. I just wanted to get away. So my cousin was like, well, you can move out here. Yeah, right. Okay. So I get out there and I move out there, right? Completely. My legs, my knees were both out. I wore braces for a good few months, like 5 months on both of them because I couldn't walk. I had to wear the brace. So when I get out there, the bait and switch of it is like, I'm trying to find a job. The one job I worked at, the Thirsty Beaver, it was horrible place. They would give me like one day and I would have to like beg for shifts. Like I would have to basically they'd auction shifts and that's how I was making money and barely enough. So basically when I got out there, my cousin was like, oh, you could pay a third of the rent and this and that and we'll help you because we love you. Bullshit. I call bullshit because I got out there and she's like, oh, I'm surprised the electric it's about to be winter in New England. And she's like, do you need heat? I'm like, what the fuck? What's wrong with you? Do I need heat? Winter in New England. What do you think? I have rheumatoid arthritis. What do you think? I can't, my bones hurt. What do you think? Do I need heat? So everything, she's like, I'm surprised it's not about to get shut off. So basically I had to pay back utilities because she was irresponsible and didn't pay any of that. I paid back utilities, and then she's like, oh, by the way, would you mind paying more rent? The whole rent? And then on top of it, what was really weird, her boyfriend lived there, right? Her boyfriend lives in Rhode Island, and her boyfriend had a key to my apartment. I'm paying full rent now. Why does he have a key to my apartment? On top of that, she had a room that was locked off. blocked off. Like I wasn't allowed in the West Wing bell.